All right, welcome back to the Monte-Carlo Masters. We've got the number one seed taking on Berrettini. Zverev taking on Berrettini. And this could be interesting. This could be tough for Zverev, who's not had the greatest time lately since the Australian Open, really. He's not been great. He's admitted as much. Let's see if we can take advantage of this draw, though, because it's a tough draw. Let's go have a look at the preview. These guys have played a lot before. So the winner of this will take on either Musetti or Lehechka. Tough third round for the winner of this, no matter who it is. That is a rough draw. And also, but it opens up a little bit. Maybe, Tsitsipas in a quarterfinal in this section. But yeah, it is a tough draw for Zverev, who needs some form. Matteo Berrettini, world number 34. He is 28 years old from Italy, 6'5". Right-handed, 9 wins, 7 losses on the year. He has no titles this year, but he's got 10 career titles. And his form has been pretty solid. Had a good week last week. And Zverev, number 2 in the world, 27 years old from Germany. He is 6'6", right-handed, 14 wins, 6 losses on the year. He has no titles this year, 23 career titles. Hasn't won this title yet, but you'd think that Monte Carlo would be one of the titles that he could win. He's a good clay courter. Won a bunch of Romes and Madrid, so Monte Carlo you would think would be on his radar. But his form hasn't been great. Maybe buckling under the pressure a little bit of his the expectation of trying to be number one. The opportunity, I should say. They haven't played for a while. 23 at Wimbledon. And it was Berrettini in 3 that day. But yeah, it's been a minute since they played. They also did play in the Madrid final in 2021, where Zverev got the win, but it was a close 3-setter on that day. All right. Here we go, chat. The match of the day. Let's see if Zverev can... if Zverev wins this in straights, that would get him back on track. I don't think that's going to happen, but if he puts in a good performance here, then maybe that'll get him some confidence. But I think we're all expecting that he's not going to win easily and that he might even lose, But how are we doing, chat? What's going on? I'd love to see Berrettini win this. Great opportunity. Great chance for Berrettini. Huge opportunity. Berrettini beats Zverev in the Rome 2019. There you go. That was when Berrettini was unheard of. And Zverev was the face of the next generation. Ken Williams is stupid at predicting the outcome. Why are you here, bro? Do you have nothing else to do? You bored? I feel like you need to get out more. You can stay, it's fine, stick around, feel free to donate, whatever you want to do, but I feel like I don't know, bro. I don't watch TV shows that I don't like. And I didn't go to watch Snow White because I heard it was terrible and I didn't really want to go see it, so I didn't waste my time. But you're here, so thank you for being here. I'll try and make you laugh or something. Bro is out here hating. I know the world's a scary place right now, but don't worry. We're just playing games. This is just fun. It's just tennis. Who among these is the better overall clay court player? By results, you'd say Zverev, but I don't trust Zverev right now. It's so hard to trust Zverev right now. He's playing... You just don't... Especially against guys that... Like a Berrettini. It's so tough. Because Berrettini's legit. If he was playing someone else, you'd still... even if he was playing someone like... any decent clay courter would still probably question Zverev at this point. But Berrettini? That's a rough one. You could pick a lot of clay courters against Zverev right now and think that they could probably win against Zverev right now. But Berrettini's even if it wasn't on clay, even if it was Zverev coming off the Australian Open final, you'd say, shit, that's a hard match. So this is a brutal matchup for Zverev. But it might be just what he needs to get a win over Berrettini like this and then to get his confidence back. It's a good opportunity for Zverev, but also it's a terrible matchup. Zverev has not hit confidence shots since AO final. Yeah. Zverev is in really poor form, but he might step up. He usually does with tougher draws. Well, yeah, I mean, he's going to have to step up. Or he's going to lose in the second round again and go to Munich next week and try and win at home, I guess. I enjoy watching certain players lose. Yeah, like yeah. Look, I'm super happy when certain teams lose in sports, but I don't watch them to lose. Like, I don't waste my whole afternoon watching a team that I don't like lose. I just go about my day and then I look at the scores and I'm like, oh, yay, Collingwood lost. But I don't really like waste my time to do it. But, you know, I guess each their own. How are you enjoying the European time zones? It's all right for now. I mean, tonight's been great. It's only 10 p.m. Okay, I'm going to get an early night. It's crazy at this point. Last night was brutal, though. Last night I went to sleep at like 4 a.m. because Medvedev's match went forever. But also the matches before Medi's match went forever. So it's kind of a bit of... This week's all right because we've only got one tournament to watch. But the next few weeks, it's gonna be a lot. But I like the European time zones. I like staying up all night. It's much better suited to me, staying up late. Will Runa join Sinkaraz and start winning slams? I think he will eventually, but obviously he's not there right now. But I think eventually Runa's going to win slams. Yeah. I love this schedule. I get tennis in the morning at work. Nice. Nice one. Yeah, Miami's always a tough one. Miami, like coming off Miami, this is so much easier. Miami, I'd be like, right now I'd be asleep, and then I'd have to wake up at 2 in the morning. But this is a lot better. By the way, apparently Berrettini and Zverev are coming on in 10 minutes. They've just delayed because the other match was unexpectedly short. Good night from Bali. Hey, shout out to Bali. Right now we've also got Lajovic versus Kaboli. Kaboli's about to win the first set. Batista Agu's up a set and a break against Nakashima. And Echeverry Mute is about to start. So that is fun. Fun. Any tips on what? Couldn't watch any matches from Miami, so at least this tournament has been good. Yeah. Who do you think will win? I think, God, I want to say Berrettini. I don't trust Zverev at all right now. I do not trust Zverev at all. But I will go Zverev in 3. I'll say Zverev in 3. Kind of like Medvedev yesterday against Hashanov. It was one of those things where it's like, tough match right now, especially. But I think Zverev will squeak out the win like Medvedev did against Hashanov. I think. It feels like it could be... like yesterday was a defining moment for Medvedev for the season. Getting a win like that may change his fortune. I feel like Zverev, this is a defining match for him. Like, this is an important match. He needs to win this match. Otherwise, things might just get worse, you know? I think he needs this match. For his own... I mean, for his clay court tennis. You know, for his clay court tennis sake, right? You don't want to start by losing the first match on clay, on the European clay, you know? Can we say Zverev, even though he's not in good form right now? That's why I'm saying I think it's close. The head-to-head says Zverev, but the form says Berrettini. So I think that kind of evens out. Because if Zverev's beating Berrettini most times, then he obviously knows how to beat Berrettini and he knows what to do. But right now, it's like Berrettini's in better form. So I think it kind of evens out, which I think is be a close 3-setter. Nice haircut, Cam. Save some girls for the rest of us. Well, I lost a bet. This isn't a haircut to do anything, but I had to get the Mensik haircut because he won the tournament, and I said that he would, if he beat Draper and won the tournament, then I'd have to do it. It was a joke. It was the second round of Miami. There was like 5 matches left, and he bloody won the whole thing somehow. It's a joke, chat. It wasn't supposed to happen. If Zverev loses here on clay, it's probably a disaster. Yeah. I mean, it's only going to get worse. If he loses this match, it could be the start of a long clay season. Should 1,000 other slams start using a system like Wimbledon, which takes into account surface of play? Medvedev or Shelton aren't number 9 and 11 on clay. Nah, well, Wimbledon got rid of that as well because it was too confusing. Like, it's too confusing. That, like, there's no point in going like, okay, well, you're clay court tennis last year. You're the number 4 player on clay, even though you're number 10 in life. You know, like, it's just too messy. Because then how do you justify, like, you know, how do you explain that to everybody? You know, it's so hard to explain the rankings anyway. Like, it's so hard to explain how is Zverev number 1 seed when he's not number 1 in the world? It's like, that's already hard enough. If we start throwing in, well, Zverev's the number 1 on clay, blah, blah, you know, then we just start, Alcaraz is the number 1 on clay, Zverev is the number 2 in life. You know, it'll just get messy. They got rid of the Wimbledon rule a couple of years ago because it was messy as well. So it's just too messy. I get what you're saying. And like if I'm going to have a look now at the best clay courters in the world in no particular order, right? You would put Alcaraz at number 1, right? He's probably the best clay courter on the planet. Zverev would be top 5, but you wouldn't put Zverev as the best clay courter in the world. So if you had to redo the seeds, you'd say probably Alcaraz 1, maybe Djokovic 2, or Sinner 2, and then Zverev 3. But again, it's just too confusing if we do that way. But I know what you're trying to say. I mean, Berrettini, Casper Ruud, you know, those guys would be higher seeded than Medvedev or, like you said, Shelton. But yeah, it just gets a little too confusing. But as long as you know that the number 11 in the world, Shelton, is not the 11th best clay courter, then you don't have to worry. You know, as long as you know the different surface matters, right? You know, if somebody goes, oh, well, Shelton should win because he's number 11. It's like, yeah, but he's number 11 on a hard court. This is not hard courts. Clay courts are different. Fokina is better on clay. You know, or Tiafoe versus Kecmanovic tonight, right? You know, you would say Tiafoe is the better player on most surfaces there, but not on clay. Kecmanovic is the better player, probably, right? That's where you can be smart. When somebody's pretending like they think they know what they're talking about, and then you can go, well, no. Rankings don't matter for every player. It's not always the same, you know, depending on the court surface, right? Depending on everything else. Gaboli, by the way, just can't win this set. He was up 5-1 or something, wasn't he? Sinner's coming back in a month. Berrettini did very well in clay summer spell last year. Yeah. Yeah, Berrettini's underrated clay quarter. Where can I find Sabalenka's Svitolina? I don't know. They haven't played. Kaboli still has a 6-set point. Yeah, no, can he just win? He finally won the set. Finally, he wins a set. Finally. Tiafoe about to lose badly. That's one sure bet. Okay. I thought Tiafoe was better on clay player between them. Don't get it confused. Houston's not clay. All right. Don't get it twisted. Kecmanovic can play on European clay, right? What's the betting for that one anyway? Is Big Foe favorite? Also, remember, Tiafoe's traveling from America to Monte Carlo. So he's played a lot of tennis lately. He's probably tired. I mean, you got to factor that in as well, the travel. Totally different time zones, right? I forgot that Houston isn't the same. Yeah, no. Houston is not the same. Do not get it mixed up. Houston clay is not Monte Carlo clay. Yeah, so Kecmanovic is the favorite, so that's no surprise. All right, player should be out on court any minute. Can Demon ever make top 5? Unlikely. I don't think so. He'd have to win like a 1,000 event to be close to that, and probably make a final of a slam. That's usually the benchmark at this point. Final of a slam or a 1,000 event to be top 5. You need them points. Houston is not clay is the lesson of the week. Yeah. Yep. Let me check who played Houston and how they're doing. Is anyone who did well in Houston still around besides Foe? Let me have a look. So Paul didn't play. He made the semis. Brooksby didn't play. He won the whole thing. Eubanks didn't play. Mickelson's not here. Yeah. Kovacevic isn't here. Tabilo lost in the second round of Brooksby in Houston, and now he's playing Djokovic tomorrow. So that's the opposite of what I'm saying. But yeah, Tiafoe's the only one who... Because Shelton last year won Houston and then didn't play this year and went straight to Monte Carlo instead. So, yeah, Big Foe's the only one who's actually made the trip over, which is very rare. Usually the players that play Houston don't come here and don't come to Europe until like Madrid, you know. They have a couple of weeks off, stay home. But, hey, look, good for Tiafoe. I love that for him, that he's willing to go from a final in Houston to play Monte Carlo straight away. That's a bold move. All right, players are just warming up their last, or just warming up in the back, and then they'll get ready to go. Houston, with no disrespect to any players, basically exists so US players can say that they won a clay court tournament. Look, Houston, the US Clay Championships, that event has been, we found this out yesterday, has been around for over 100 years, right? So it's a staple in tennis, right? It's a historic event. It hasn't always been in Houston. It's only been in Houston the last 25 years. But it's been around since like the start of the Open era, right? 1970. So it's always been a part of the calendar. Yeah, first time it was founded in 1910. It's the only remaining ATP United States clay court event. But I wonder if back in the day when it was played in sort of that, it was in Indianapolis through the 70s and the 80s, and then went to South Carolina for a while. But it was a big event back in the day. It was considered 70s and 80s were when Americans dominated the tennis world, right? So Jimmy Connors played it a lot, Bjorn Borg played it, Arthur Ashe, Stan Smith, Ivan Lendl. You had a lot of like French Open champions who played that event and then also won the French. So it was probably it was considered more of a part of the tour, right? It was considered, whereas now it's a 250 event after Miami because you got to fill in time, and it's not considered like a warm-up event, proper warm-up, right? But back in the day, it's definitely got its significance. It just doesn't. We just know as tennis fans that whoever wins that tournament is unlikely going to win the French. Not these days. Maybe back in the 70s and 80s, you win Houston or the US Championships, Clay Championships. Maybe that gives you a leg up to win Roland Garros, but not in 2025. Not anymore. That event doesn't mean you win. You're going to be considered a favorite. It's probably one step below the February clay tournaments, right? The ones in Feb. We'd probably take more seriously those players in February, such as, Cerundolo made the final. Fonseca win in Buenos Aires, right? Rio, you had, Baez winning, right? We probably take him more seriously on clay. Jera winning in Chile, I think those Golden Swing events are more, tennis fans take them more seriously as clay warm-ups than Houston. I think people are probably going to say Baez is going to do better on clay in Europe than Brooksby, right? I'm sure that's what a lot of you are probably thinking. Players are ready to come out of court. There's a little delay while we wait for waiting for Runer's match to end, waiting for Runer's match. There was a big gap between Runer's match because of the unexpected retirement. Is the French Open a big event? One of the biggest, yeah. It's one of the 4 biggest events we've got. I think it was a big event back in the day because tennis was dominated by Americans, but now people consider European tournaments bigger because Europeans are dominating tennis. Yeah, like if I look at 1980 ATP Tour, right? And I look at the schedule, it was probably surrounded by tournaments that were also clay events, right? It wasn't probably just like a standalone US Open, a US clay event. So I'm looking back in February 1980. There was a clay court event in Florida. There was a clay court event back-to-back clay events in Florida, right? There was, what was it called? The Pepsi Grand Slam in Boca Raton. Then you had Sarasota, so back-to-back clay events in February in the US. And then you would go and play the US Open, US Championships. Oh, sorry, that's the wrong one. Where is it? Where is the US Championships? That's weird. Oh, that was the days of when they had 2 competing tours. So a lot of players would stick to the US and play a lot of clay, and then you could come over and play Monte-Carlo if you wanted. But there was a lot more clay events in America to get clay court ready. And then everyone would converge and play, there was a New York clay court event, right? Back in 1980, there was, but then there was also Hamburg where people were playing that too, right? You could play in Italy if you want to play on clay, and then you all go to the French Open and play that. But there was a lot more, clay events in America were a lot more common, so that US Open clay championships was more relevant than it is these days, I'm just having a look. When does the clay season start in 1980? So you had whole bunch of indoor carpet events. And then, first week of February, you got a Florida clay event, which had Borg beating Girolaitis in the final and McEnroe and Vilas making the semis. So, that just shows how legitimate those events were, right? Those US clay events used to be so... And again, you're right, because Connors and McEnroe and, all those guys, and even on the women's side, right, dominated the tour. America was where tennis was sort of it was catered to the Americans, right? There was a lot more American tennis tournaments and tennis events because that's where most of the best players are from. Whereas these days, you're right, it's all about Europe. Europe is the majority of the tours in Europe, right? All right, players are walking out on court. Here we go. Chat. Who is going to win this must-win match for Zverev, it feels? Feels like he's got to win this. To get his confidence back, he's got to get his mojo back. What if Medvedev won Roland Garros? That would be hilarious. Lots of clay tennis history here in Boca Raton. Yeah, apparently. Yeah. That would be really interesting to kind of go down a rabbit hole of the history of American clay courts. That would be interesting. You know, because obviously there was clay court events back in the day. The US Open used to be a clay court event for probably a couple of years. So obviously America and clay courts it's not a foreign surface, right? Americans have won Roland Garros. You know, it's not like the clay is Americans are allergic to clay. But it seems like these days it's nearly, you've got like you can name the two events that are on clay on the main tour, and then besides that, it's not really known to produce clay courts, right? All right, here we go, chat. Berrettini's going to serve first in this one. Zverev won the toss, elected to receive. Oh, chat, this could have been the final. If I woke up this morning and you said, "Hey, the final Berrettini Zverev is happening today," I would have believed you. I would have believed you. This is a final feel in the second round here. All right. Here we go. Who is going to win this one? Zverev needs the win. Berrettini has a massive opportunity to cause an upset, though. The winner of this will play the winner of Musetti and Lehechka, who are playing, I think, tomorrow. Or later today. It's a pretty busy day. Could be later today. And the schedule should be coming out soon because things are starting to fly through today. It's pretty quick matchup. Pretty quick matches so far. Why so early? Because Rune's match ended abruptly. So here we are. Like Rune's match ended way quicker than it was supposed to. He had to retire. Hey, Horror Critic, thank you for the 22 months. Appreciate that. Thank you for the 22 months. If there was a tournament that was half grass, half clay, who would win it? Probably Rafa, because he did win that event when it was back in 2008 or 2007, whenever it was. Battle of the Surfaces. Rafa is the defending champion and will always be the champion. He beat Roger. There's a video about it on Colt Tennis's YouTube channel. Go check it out. I remember when that happened at the time. It's great. It was crazy. Crazy idea. How they let that happen without, like... I don't know how they let that happen. By the way, is Berrettini hit one-handed backhands? No. He just hit a one-handed once. It was a pretty good one. Yeah, Battle of the Surfaces. I don't even know if you can like watch the whole thing on YouTube, maybe. But you can watch a video about it on Colt Tennis of YouTube channel. Yeah, there's a video on YouTube about it. Or you can watch highlights as well. Oh no, there's the full matches on YouTube. There you go. I might rewatch that just for fun. Crazy. I mean, it just looks so crazy. It looks like someone just edited like a split screen. It doesn't look. It looks fake. Like it looks fake, but it was real. It looks so fake, but it was so real. It does not look real. It doesn't look real. It's so crazy. It's crazy that was ever a thing, and I wish they did it again. But it was a perfect time to do that. The only time they could do that, right? Because, Rafa was winning everything on clay, and Roger was winning everything on grass, and they were kind of splitting the hard courts in 2007, right? Or at least around that time, Rafa was gaining hard court success. So they went, hey, why don't we just make a court between, that's one half clay, half grass, and we'll see what happens, because this guy's losing Wimbledon finals to this guy, and this guy's losing French Opens to this guy, so let's see what happens when we do a half and half court. They'll never do it again. It would be, too risky, but... And who would you do it for? You'd have to, I mean, how could you do that today, right? There's no one who's dominating Wimbledon, and there's no one who's dominating Roland Garros the same way as Federer and Nadal did back in the 2000s. But yeah, what a time. What a time it was. Where was it? I can't remember. Where was Battle of the Surfaces? It must have been in Europe, right? It was in Mallorca, was it? No. Maybe? Yeah, it was in Nadal's home island. Yeah, it was in Mallorca. Crazy, chat. Crazy. That's what you love about this sport, chat. There's always these weird little things that happen throughout the history of the sport. And that was one of them. That was one of them. All right. Who you got winning this one, chat? I'm going to go Zverev in 3. But with no confidence, and also I would not be surprised if Berrettini won. But I think Zverev has to win this. He has to win this. Just like Medvedev kind of had to win yesterday. I feel like Zverev has to win. Always in 3. You're going to look at me in the face and say that you don't think this match is going 3? You want me to say in straight sets when I don't believe that? Then that would be a lie. What kind of shoes you'd have to wear for those courts? I don't know. You'd probably have to wear grass shoes. I don't know. Good question, though. Zverev in 3. Zverev in 3. All right. Close 3 for Zverev. Okay. All right. Here we go. Berrettini serves. An ace. 15 love. By the way, the Italians showed up for this one. The Italians are there for this one. 15 love. First serve was a fault, second serve. Zverev in 3, you reckon? Okay. Serve. The back is Zverev. Berrettini. Drop shot. Zverev gets it. Then Berrettini kind of does like a 360 around the ball and hits it out. Nice pickup by Zverev. 15-all. $15-all. Nice hitting from Zverev. So the back is Zverev, forehand Berrettini. Into the forehand Zverev. Berrettini again to the forehand Zverev. To the backhand of Berrettini. Zverev into the backhand again of Berrettini. Zverev with the backhand into the forehand of Berrettini. Zverev with the slice on the stretch. Berrettini forehand down the line. Zverev's there with the backhand on the stretch. Berrettini forehand cross. Zverev gets it. Berrettini forehand down the line is wide. He went for it. But he just missed.
It's
15-30.
It's out.
15-30. Chance for Zverev to break first game. Which one of these is the bigger threat to Novak's title hopes? You would say Berrettini right now, I would say. He's just beaten Novak recently, and also I feel like his game would be more of a problem for Djokovic. Zverev's game, I know Djokovic lost at the Australian Open, but I don't think Djokovic fears Zverev as much as he would probably fear Berrettini's weapons. Berrettini forehand to the forehand. Zverev in the net. 30-all. Like, Zverev's not going to bully Djokovic, whereas Berrettini can bully Djokovic. All right. 30-all. Berrettini serves. Fault. Second serve. Caboli's up a set and a break. Nice. 7 to the forehand of Zverev. Forehand of Berrettini. In the net. 30-40. Zverev with a break point. 30-40. Also, Baez and Mahatcha are coming on soon as well, so we'll keep an eye on them. That could be a good match too. Whew. 30-40. So in the forehand of Zverev, return goes short. Berrettini forehand to the backhand of Zverev. Into the forehand of Berrettini. Zverev down the line with the backhand. Great shot, Zverev! Zverev went after that backhand. He playing angry, that shot. All right, one loves Zverev. If Zverev plays like that, he's going to win this match. That's... You don't see Zverev hit the ball hard like that very often. Yeah, I want to see more of that from Zverev. Step into the shot. Step up. And not just wait, you know. Be a little more aggressive. That was a great shot. Berrettini, by the way, does have a sleeve on his his right arm, so I don't know what's going on with his arm. If he's got an arm injury or something, but Berrettini is wearing a right-armed sleeve. All right, one loves Zverev. You still think Zverev in 3? No, I'm going to flip and say Berrettini via helicopter forehand, Rafa Nadal left-handed finish. In fact, I think Rafa might come out on court and take Berrettini's spot and tag in like wrestling, and then Zverev's going to tag Djokovic in, and they're going to play a match instead. All right, one loves Zverev. What do you reckon? Zverev double faults.
Myself in there.
That's him. He said that. Love 15. Love 15. Five minutes in. As a default second serve. Second serve. Serve to the back of Berrettini. Return the forehand to Zverev. Zverev hits a winner. 15-0. Novak's eye looks even worse. I know, right? It looked shocking the other day in the interviews. As we return to the backhand of Zverev. Forehand now from Berrettini on the stretch. Zverev, backhand cross. Slice from Berrettini. Zverev forehand into the backhand of Berrettini. Zverev at the net with a volley. Berrettini with a slice. Zverev with the forehand down the line. Berrettini slices it wide. All right, Zverev at the net. 30-15. So that's a thing. 30-15. Zverev serves again. As we just serve again. Here's a fault second serve. Second serve. Into the forehand of Berrettini. Back in Zverev. To the forehand of Berrettini. And Zverev with a forehand cross. Berrettini gets on the stretch, but it's in the net. 40-15. Zverev for the 2-love lead. Cam so easily changes sides. Yeah. If there's anything that I'm known for, it's picking someone at the start of the match and changing my mind after 2 games. And then going back to the original pick. But then after the first set, changing it again. and then going back to the original pick before ending stream, just randomly halfway through for no reason. As Berrettini's a winner, and it's 40-30, so I'm going to go Berrettini. You got me. 40-30. That guy's wearing an Arsenal shirt. Respect. It's not easy. It's not easy. 40-30. Serve. Into the forehand of Berrettini. Forehand of Zverev. Berrettini backhand pass in the net. It's 2-love Zverev, so I'm going to pick him. I'm sticking with Zverev. I said Zverev would win. I told you he would win. See, Chad, I told you. Told you Zverev would win, didn't I? 2-love. Where's that? Where's those people that come in here and after like one game see, oh, I told you they'd win. Those ones are the funniest. It's 2-love Zverev. See, he was never going to lose. Told you he'd win. See, Chad, you should listen. I told you Zverev was never going to lose. 2-love. Berrettini to serve, but I don't know why. He should just give up at this point. He's got no hope. Zverev's going to win, obviously. As Berrettini serves. Into the forehand of Zverev and hits it out. Oh, no. Oh, maybe not. Hey, wait. Wait, chat. Wait. Whoa. Hang on. Wait a second. Hey, wait. Wait. 15 love. Hang on a second. Just wait 1 second. 15 love. As the backhand return goes into the forehand of Berrettini. Forehand from Zverev into the forehand of Berrettini. Zverev forehand of the drop shot of Berrettini. Zverev's going to get there. Berrettini with the backhand down the line. Oh, it's a lob. He fooled Zverev and me, but he hits it out. He fooled himself. 15-0. $15-all. Berrettini serves again. Serve. Into the forehand of Zverev. Return to the forehand of Berrettini. Oh, Berrettini hits a winner. Nice shot. 30-15. What was that? Berrettini hit a forehand winner. 30-15. Serve again. Into the forehand of Zverev. Berrettini forehand goes wide. 30-all. Zverev for a chance for a double break. $30-all. As Berrettini serves again. To the backhand of Zverev. To the slice of Berrettini. Zverev backhand into the net. 40-15. $40-30. $40-30. As we're going to forehand Berrettini. And that goes out by Zverev, and it's 2-1 Berrettini on the board. All right. Zverev with the break. All right. I think Baez is going to beat Mahash today. I could see that happening. Cool. How do we chat? What's going on? What are we doing? Berrettini unforced errors. Match is over now. No, still going. It's only 2-1. They started. Kaboli wins. I put him in the team for a reason, chat. I put him in the team for a reason. What racket do I use? I use a Wilson. I put him in the chat for a reason. We're coming back, baby. Runa might have let us down, but that's because he was sick, all right? And that's not his fault. But Poprin, Muller, Kaboli. We just need Alcaraz and Djokovic to make the final and win, and it'll be fine. Everything will be fine. Everything's fine. Everything's fine. 2-1 Zverev. 2-1 Zverev. And the return goes in the back of Zverev. Berrettini slice lob in the net. 15 love. Muller's a beast. Yeah, he's been a great pickup for the team. 15 love. Serve again from Zverev. As the backhand goes into the backhand Zverev. Back into Berrettini in the net. 30 love. 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 Serve again. As the return goes to the forehand of Zverev, and Zverev hits in the net. 30-15. 30-15. Serve again. Into the backhand of Berrettini. Hits it out in the return. 40-15. As the return goes into the backhand of Zverev. Berrettini backhand again to the backhand of Zverev. Berrettini slices. Zverev hits a forehand cross. And then Berrettini hits a passing shot winner. 40-30. Still a chance for Zverev to keep the break. 40-30. So the forehand of Berrettini. Zverev backhand to the backhand of Berrettini. Zverev forehand goes again. The backhand slice of Berrettini. Into the forehand of Zverev. Berrettini back on the stretch. Zverev hits it in the net. We get to deuce. And the crowd are coming alive. We get to deuce. All right. Chance for Berrettini to break back. As with a fault. Second serve. As a return. There's the forehand of Zverev. Forehand of Berrettini in the net. Advantage Zverev. Advantage Zverev. Zverev comes to the net. Lob goes up. And Berrettini gets up the backhand in the net. 3-1 Zverev. Zverev. Okay. Players already up a break 2-1. Crazy. Cool. Berrettini's out. Love 15. Love 15. As we return now from Zverev, that goes wide. 15-all. Serve. 15-all. Berrettini serves a 5-second serve. If Berrettini were to win this, it would be a shock. Yes and no. As that goes wide by Berrettini, 15-30. What happened to Runa? Injured or sick? Sick. By the way, Mute is up 5-4 against Echeverry. Serving for the set. So that's happening. Cool. 15-30. Berrettini serves. The backhand is Zverev. Zverev hits it wide. And it's 30-all. Thirty-all. As return goes to front of Berrettini. As Berrettini's a lovely drop shot winner at 40-30. Hey, what's going on, Tilly? How you doing? 40-30. And the return goes in front of Berrettini. Forehand from Zverev. To the Berrettini backhand. As Zverev backhand down the line. Berrettini gets it. Into the forehand of Zverev. As Berrettini into the forehand again of Zverev. Berrettini backhand again. Zverev's got it with his backhand. Into the forehand of Berrettini, who puts in the net. And we get to deuce. All right. We get back to deuce. Zverev hits a volley. Oh, it goes in! Great winner by Zverev.
This is going to be on Tennis TV, bro.
Just like a lunging backhand drop volley winner. And the crowd loved it. What a shot. Advantage Zverev for the double break. crazy shot by Zverev. I don't know if he meant to hit it that good. I think he just kind of put his racket out to the side and hope for the best. Damn. All right. Advantage Zverev. Serve the back of Zverev before Berrettini. Zverev with the slice goes in. Berrettini forehand on the line. Is out. And Zverev's got the double break. 4-1. 4-1 Zverev. All right. 4-1. Linda.
So happy to see this new Zverev.
Yeah, Zverev, hopefully this is a confidence-boosting result for Zverev. Thank you for the donation. Whenever Zverev plays an aggressive shot, I always wonder if he meant to do it. Well, that was just a crazy drop volley winner. I don't think he meant it to be that good. Berrettini was, hitting a forehand passing shot, and Zverev just kind of like put his racket out there, and it was ridiculous. It bounced back over the net, like it had that much backspin, so I don't think he meant that. But it still didn't. It doesn't mean it didn't look good. It still looked good. All right. Zverev with the break. 2 breaks. Berrettini right now is going for too much. Yeah, Berrettini's definitely hitting a lot of errors. But Mute just won the first set against Echeverry, and Baez and Mahatch are back on serve, 2-0. Now the schedule should be coming out soon, I think. I'm pretty sure. Usually comes out for the second last match of the night, or the day, which is right now. They've still got a few matches left though. Griekspoor versus Feast, Tiafoe Kecmanovic, Giron versus Draper, so maybe they will wait. Probably at the end of this match, the schedule comes out for tomorrow. But I'll tell you who is playing tomorrow. Djokovic will play tomorrow. Alcaraz will play tomorrow. You'll have Medvedev will play tomorrow. Rublev Monfils is going to be tomorrow. So there's a lot of good matches tomorrow to watch, and hopefully they're all in center court. Yeah, a lot of good matches. All right, love 15. Zverev will not play tomorrow if he wins. He'll have a day off. Echeverry was up 4-1 and lost the set. Yuck. That sucks. Bobby. All right, good return from Berrettini, but Zverev with a better backhand. And it's 15-0. All right. As Berrettini hits it out again, 30-15. As the return goes for Zverev. Berrettini passing shot winner. Whew.
Unbelievable.
All right, 30-0. Berrettini trying to get one of these breaks back. 30-all. As Berrettini hits the forehand of the stretch. Zverev with a forehand down the line. The backhand is Berrettini. As we'll backhand out of the forehand of Berrettini. Backhand Zverev to the slice of Berrettini. As Zverev forehand again to the backhand of Berrettini. Berrettini in the net though. And it's 40-30. Zverev to take a 5-1 lead. All right. And a fault, second serve. Second serve. Is a double fault.
Get myself in there.
All right, we get to deuce. And Zverev serves another fault, second serve. Second serve. Into the forehand of Berrettini. Forehand of Zverev. To the backhand slice of Berrettini. As Zverev forehand again to the backhand of Berrettini. Into the forehand of Zverev. As Berrettini forehand to the backhand of Zverev. Berrettini puts up a lob. And Zverev puts away the smash. Advantage Zverev. Advantage Zverev to take the 5-1 lead. Zverev with the serve. Ace down the tee. All right. 5-1. Zverev with the double break still. All right. 5-1. Cool. All right, 5-1. The return goes to forehand of Berrettini, but Zverev hit it out. 15 love. As that goes out again by Zverev, 30 love. Schedule came out. Nice. What's the schedule look like tomorrow? Literally just came out. You're on fire. Hello? Why is the schedule like that? Excuse me, Monte-Carlo, what have you done? 40 love? Why? Why is it like that? Who chose the schedule? That's terrible. Hello? Gasquet versus Altmaier, first match on the day? No? Nobody asked that. What? I know Gasquet's final tournament or whatever, but like event here, but what is that match? Zverev it's a winner 40-15. Hello? Djokovic and Alcaraz. So Alcaraz, Cerundolo, followed by Djokovic, followed by Medvedev, Muller. Okay. Monfils Rublev is on at the same time as Alcaraz. I mean, that's kind of weird. Okay. Whatever. 40-15. They're giving Gasquet a send-off. That's why they put him on first. Okay, fair enough. But also, I mean, at the expense of Rublev Monfils, which is like a banger. Medvedev Muller's a strange one. I don't know why they didn't put... Like that being on center court's a bit strange. I think Rublev Monfils should have been center court. Uh, 40-30. Feast Greek Sport is about to start too. That's another banger. A lot of good matches today. On paper. Drop shot. Berrettini. Zverev gets it with a slice, but it's in the net. 5-2. Zverev's going to have to serve for this set. All right. Cool. Cool. All right. Zverev's going to serve the set. Are you going to stream some of Medvedev's matches this week? I literally watched him yesterday, so yes. We already did. That was yesterday, and that's all. No more Medvedev. That's it. The end. How is Monfils Rublev not center court is crazy. Novak plays after Alcaraz. Yes. So Alcaraz, then Djokovic. And they both got tough matches. It's like tomorrow's not an easy day for them. But yeah, so it goes Gasquet, Alcaraz, Djokovic, Medvedev. That's center court. That is the center court schedule. All right. Zverev going to serve the first set. Here we go. Zverev serving for this first set. Zverev with a serve. To the forehand of Berrettini. Return goes in the net. 15 love. Serve again. There's a fault. Second serve. So in the back of Berrettini, forehand Zverev. And Berrettini's forehand goes long. 30 love. And Zverev serves again. And Berrettini shanks a return drop shot winner. What was that shot? 30-15. All right. Berrettini hits a return winner off a shank. He was hitting a slice backhand. He ended up hitting a drop shot winner. Great shot. By accident. As a return goes to forehand Zverev. Forehand now from Berrettini. Into the forehand Zverev down the line. The backhand slice Berrettini. Zverev with the forehand inside out. Berrettini backhand. Down the line's long. 40. 15. $40.15. 2 set points for Zverev. All right, Zverev with the serve. To the forehand of Berrettini. Return goes in the net. There's the set for Zverev. 6-2. First set in the bag. All right. 6-2. By the way, Chad, is the scoreboard better, easier to read today? I've made some changes. Is the scoreboard better today? Can we all see what's going on? All right. Yes, looks perfect. Great. Okay, cool. Cool. Do we like the match time being on the top, or is it in the way? By the way, that wasn't a pretty set by Berrettini. 7 winners and 13 errors, including 10 on the forehand side, which is his weapon. So, unfortunately, his hammer's not working today. Berrettini. And his serve's not working great either. He's going to have to figure that out quickly to come back here. All right. Baeza 5-2 double break. Yeah. He is serving for the set over there. Kind of has a retro vibe. I like it. Oh, cool. Well, that's an accident. Match of the day. Not giving B a big match energy. I know, right? It's really not been a great match. But we did have a great match yesterday, kind of unexpectedly. You know? I think we accidentally had a Medvedev classic, so I guess today's just, tennis gods are just evening it out today. Because we had such a crazy day. We didn't watch the matches before that, but there was like great matches all day yesterday. Whereas today, all the matches we hoped would be great have not been great yet. The Runa match was a flop. This match is a little bit boring. But we kind of made up for yesterday with the Medi's match was great yesterday. That was a lot of fun. And we got great matches tomorrow, so we'll see if it gets better tomorrow. You know? All right. Still not over, though. Berrettini, he might be down the set, but he's not down. Hasn't lost his match yet. Runa was sick. He was sick, apparently, so that's why he withdrew. All right, nice serving for Berrettini. 15 love. Love. First serve's a fault, second serve. Second serve is a let. Serving in the back of Zverev. Backing out Berrettini. The forehand is Zverev on the stretch. It's Berrettini again. Down the line of the net. 15-0. Berrettini is making some silly errors. 15-all. Nice serving there, Berrettini. 30-15. As he serves again. There's a fault. Second serve. As the return goes in the forehand of Berrettini. Backhand Zverev. Into the forehand of Berrettini. Zverev backhand again to the forehand of Berrettini. Zverev forehand on the stretch. Berrettini goes down the line. Zverev's there with the backhand on the stretch. Backhand again from Berrettini in the forehand of Zverev. Zverev hits it out. 40-15. Serve again from Berrettini. And it's too strong. 1-love Berrettini in the second. Berrettini is playing like an amateur. That was better, though. That was a much better game. All right. "45 minutes played." Chat. I know we say this every time we watch Zverev, but he does take his time. Yeah, he's a 45 minutes for 9 games is classic. Classic Zverev. As he serves. A fault. Second serve. Serve. There's a double fault Zverev.
Get myself in there.
Love 15. Love 15. Serve again. Into the forehand of Berrettini. Forehand from Zverev. Is a cross-court winner. 15-all. Zverev serves again. As the return goes in, the forehand is Zverev. Berrettini backhand pass. Zverev volley. Goes wide. 15-30. Awkward volley. 15-30. Chance for Zverev to... Sorry, Berrettini to break in the second here. You really dislike Novak, huh? Are you talking to me or somebody in the chat? 15-30. As the return goes in the forehand of Zverev. Forehand now from Berrettini. Into the back of Zverev. That's a great shot down the line. 30-all. Lovely hitting from Zverev. 30-all. Oh, you're talking to someone in chat? Okay. 30-all. Has a default second serve. As a return from Berrettini in the net, 40-30. As the return goes in, the forehand of Zverev. Zverev overhits it. Man, Zverev is playing some terrible shots. We get back to deuce. We get to deuce. As the return goes in the forehand of Zverev. Berrettini puts up a lob. Zverev with a smash, and Berrettini gets it, but puts it in the net. Advantage Zverev. Advantage Zverev. Advantage Zverev to take his first game of the second. Return goes in the forehand of Zverev. Berrettini slices in the net, and it's 1-1. 1-1 in the second. All right. Hey Cam, thanks for the Monte-Carlo coverage. You sound more and more like your dog when you yawn. I gotta be honest, you're confused. I don't know how to take that. I don't know if I should be. I'm confused by what you just said. Can you explain that? What are you trying to say? I don't know if I'm like I should thank you or slap you. Like, what do you want from me? What are you saying? All right, Berrettini in the net, love 15. Love 15. Serve is a fault by Berrettini. Second serve. Second serve. As the return goes in, the front of Berrettini. Berrettini in the net, love 30. All right, trouble. Trouble for Berrettini, love 30. Love 30. As Berrettini serves a fault. Second serve. Second serve. Into the forehand of Zverev. Return goes to the forehand of Berrettini. Zverev with the backhand. Into the slice of Berrettini. Zverev forehand down the line. Berrettini gets on the stretch. Zverev forehand goes again to the backhand of Berrettini. And Zverev backhand down the line. Just goes out. 15-30. All right. 15-30. Still a chance of Zverev to get the break here. $15-30. First serve is a fault. Second serve. To the backhand of Zverev. Forehand from Berrettini. Into the forehand of Zverev. Berrettini backhand cross. Zverev goes down the line. Great shot. Berrettini gets it. And Zverev forehand goes to the backhand of Berrettini. Into the backhand of Zverev. Berrettini forehand cross court. Zverev takes over, but hits it out. 30-all. Some bad misses by Zverev in this game. 30-all. By the way, Echeverry's up 4-1 against Moutet in the second. And Feast Griekspoor have just started 3-2 first set. What else going on? Oh, but Severetti's playing a challenger event this week. Interesting. Where the hell's Baby Federer? Where's Henry Baby Fed? Where the hell's he at? Is he playing tennis at the moment? Where is he? 40-30? I want to watch Baby Federer. Anybody know, chat? Anybody know where Baby Fed's at? Henry Benet, exactly. Where the hell's he at? What's he up to? When do we get to watch Baby Fed? What's he doing? He hasn't played anything? He's too old to play juniors, so where the hell is he? He beat Fanini last year in Basel. Anyways, Berrettini holds 2-1. Yeah, where is he? Baby Federer retired? No, you don't think you know who we're talking about. Hasn't played since the Australian Open. Yeah, where the hell is he? What happened to him? What the hell happened? I want to watch him play. Yeah, hasn't played since the Australian Open. He's the number one junior. Wait, so is he still playing juniors? I thought that when you turned 18, you were not allowed to play juniors. Stupid keyboard. There we go. So yeah, he hasn't played since the Australian Open. So he must just be at school. Great, yeah. Maybe he's finishing his school. I don't know. Maybe college. Maybe I don't know. Either way, we'll watch him when he plays eventually. Anyways, 2-1 Berrettini he holds. Stays in front in the second. He's got a back in from Zverev. Berrettini back in the net. 15 love. And Zverev serves again. A fault. Second serve. Second serve. Into the front of Berrettini. Zverev with the backhand to the backhand of Berrettini. And Zverev forehand goes down the line. Berrettini gets on the stretch. Zverev forehand again at the front of Berrettini. Into the backhand of Zverev as Berrettini runs around to the forehand inside out. Berrettini with another forehand cross court. Zverev gets it. And Berrettini forehand in the net. 30 love. By the way, Echeverry serving for the second set against Mute. $30 love. As whoever says an ace, 40 love. $40 love. Another ace, all right. 2-all. 2-all. All right, back to Berrettini. All right, nice serve, Berrettini. 15 love. $15 love. As we're flying now into the backhand of Zverev, backhand of Berrettini. Zverev backhand into the forehand of Berrettini. Again, the backhand of Zverev. Zverev hits it out. 30 love. $30 love. $30 love. As a return goes into the forehand of Berrettini. And he hits a winner. Berrettini, 40 love. All right, 40 love. As he serves another fault. Second serve, Berrettini. As Zverev hits a winner, 40-15. $40-15. Serve again. Into the forehand of Zverev. Berrettini down the line. Zverev gets backhand, but it's in the net. 3-2 Berrettini. He stays in front. And the crowd go wild. By the way, packed stadiums. I don't think we'll have to talk about whether or not there's going to be people there. People are there. It is busy. There is a lot. Like, even yesterday, packed stadium. Like, unless the weather's crappy, it's going to be good crowds for the week. All right. This match is a bit mid right now. It's just slow, man. Just because Zverev and Berrettini, they're just from that generation where, you know, they just... Remember the other day when I was talking about Berrettini just taking forever? But these guys just... I say it every time we watch this generation. They learned how to play tennis from Djokovic and Nadal, right? And I think you can tell that, right? When you see how they play, they're playing a version of Nadal and Djokovic, right? Mainly Djokovic, right? Because they're all right-handed. You know, and Djokovic and Nadal play slow. The reason why we got a time clock is because they took too much time and it was getting ridiculous. Where they would do a serve and then they'd take 5 minutes and, or a couple of minutes and then they do another serve, right? The time clock came in because of Nadal and Djokovic, partly. And these guys are a product of those guys, so they're playing slow, right? Tsitsipas is also in that conversation, right? And then you look at the guys that are coming through now who were like too young to remember, Alcaraz would have been like 5 years old when Nadal and Djokovic were kicking each other's ass, right? Those guys play way quicker and way more aggressive, probably because they were brought up watching these guys and they thought, well, Zverev and Medvedev and, all these guys, the way to beat those guys, you can't beat Djokovic and Nadal maybe, maybe because those guys are, they're gone, right? Almost. But you got to beat these guys. So, that's where Alcaraz and these new guys are like, well, we're going to play aggressive because these guys are going to be defensive. We're going to take it to them. And now we have what we have, right? So it feels slow because it is, but that's because these guys were brought up to play like the slowest players of all time. The greatest players, but also you need a lot of patience to watch their matches. They do not... You need to and as you should, whenever the GOAT's played, cancel your plans, right? Take the afternoon to watch them, but they take a day, it takes them... They played a match that went for nearly 6 hours, right? That's 6 hours out of 24 is like a quarter of a day to watch a tennis match, to play a tennis match. I mean, you got to cancel everything to watch Djokovic versus Nadal. And as you should. But you also have to cancel everything to watch this match because it also takes a very long time. But also it's not Djokovic Nadal, so it's a little bit harder to swallow when you go Zverev Berrettini. It's a good matchup, but when it gets a little slow, it's a little harder to... It's a little bit harder to watch. But if it goes 3, then we can't complain. Love 15, backhand return from Berrettini. Into the backhand Zverev. Zverev hits it out, love 30. I mean, we had the same thing yesterday with Hashanov and Medvedev, right? It was a slow match. Just weren't complaining as much, but yesterday's match was slow too, right? Because again, those guys were a product of the generation, right? But if Berrettini can break here and do something, we can get excited. There's a fault from Zverev, second serve. Second serve. Serve to the back of Berrettini, return the forehand to Zverev. Berrettini backhand pass, Zverev with a volley. Oh, that's good. That was solid. Great volley by Zverev, 15-30. Beautiful volley. I missed the Miami men's sets. They were rapid fire, yeah. I did play tie breaks in 30 minutes. Ah, 15-30. Zverev serves a let. Mia, what do you reckon about this match? $15.30. As the back and return goes to forehand Zverev. Forehand now from Berrettini. Into the forehand Zverev. Berrettini forehand inside out. Berrettini another forehand. Goes down the line. Zverev gets up the stretch. As Berrettini goes down the line with the forehand at the backhand of Zverev. Again, the forehand of Berrettini. As Zverev backhand into the Berrettini forehand drop shot, but it's in the net. 30-all. Not a bad idea for Berrettini, but just cut it too fine. 30-all. All right, Zverev serves again. Serve. The backhand of Berrettini. Zverev backhand to the forehand of Berrettini. Into the forehand of Zverev, who shanks it long. Breakpoint Berrettini. 30-40. To take the break in the second. 30-40. All right, 30-40. As the return goes in, and Zverev hits it wide. Berrettini breaks in the second, 4-2. 4-2. Berrettini. Four-two. Okay. Berrettini in control of the second. As he serves a fault. Second serve. Serve to the forehand of Zverev. Forehand from Berrettini to the forehand of Zverev. Berrettini forehand to the forehand of Zverev. Into the backhand of Berrettini. And Zverev backhand into the forehand of Berrettini. Again, the backhand of Zverev. Berrettini slice. And Zverev forehand goes in the net. 15-love. 15-love. Berrettini serves again. $15-love. Serve to the backhand is Zverev. Zverev hits it out. 30-love. $30-love. Serve again. Into the forehand is Zverev. Return goes out. 40-love. Nice serving Berrettini. 40-love. Berrettini for a 5-2 lead. As he serves. And the return goes in. Berrettini with a drop shot. Zverev gets it, but it's in the net. 5-2 Berrettini. In the second. Okay. Berrettini leads 5-2 in the second. All right, how we doing, chap? Monte-Carlo is an Italian enclave. Cool. Do you think Zverev would regret not having a real coach instead of his dad? Axe his career. No, because Zverev's had great coaches, right? But I think he said this himself. He just doesn't respond as well to them as he does to his dad or his family, right? His brother's there as well, you know. Yeah, he just doesn't do as well when Ivan Lendl or David Ferrer or Juan Carlos Ferrero or any other coach that he's had. He just listens and I guess works better. It works better for him with his family. Maybe it's because they give him more. They give him more. Again, I don't know. Maybe they give him more time to work it out himself. They don't tell him what to do. They're not trying to change him like maybe other coaches would come in and try and change things about him and try and change things about his game. Maybe, they kind of just let him be. Maybe he doesn't like being told what to do, right? Maybe that's not how he functions. So, yeah. And I mean, he's number 2 in the world. He's made Grand Slam finals. Like, it's not like he hasn't had a good career, but he's, he hasn't won the slams and all that stuff. So there's obviously there's always going to be that question. But would he have, would a coach coming in, you would think that an experience, and we've seen with players in the past, getting a coach that has got experience of slam, can help you win a slam. Big. We've seen that with Sinner. We've seen that with Alcaraz. We've seen that with Federer back in the day. Djokovic. Look, Nadal won everything he won mostly with Uncle Tony. So you can't say that it doesn't work, right? Because Rafa's a testament, and Serena are testaments that you don't need to have a coach that has been there and done that. But with Zverev, it's hard because he's been so close. You wonder if he did hire a coach for just a Grand Slam, maybe that would help him get that one thing that he doesn't have. But I mean, it probably have to be the right guy. Have to be the right player, right person. Just for that to work. 30-15. As with a 4-0 from Zverev, backhand lob by Berrettini too short, and Zverev puts it away. 40-15. But I don't think Zverev getting having his dad as coach and having his family be his team. I don't think that's what's stopping him from winning a slam. I don't think that's the reason why he hasn't won a slam. It's just the way he plays, and that's not. You could bring a coach in, and if you don't play, they could tell you all these things, but if you don't play that on the day, then it's if he doesn't play aggressive when he needs to and all that stuff in finals of slams, then By the way, Patrick Mouratoglou's in the house is laughing. That's the most casual I've seen Patty Mouratoglou ever, because he's coaching Osaka. She's not here, but he's just chilling. He's just there as a spectator. Patty Mog, he's just hanging out. Patty M, he's just like, whatever, man. I don't have to do nothing. 40-30. Yeah, his family being the coaches is not the problem. It's his mentality. Yeah. Exactly. You could bring in anybody, and if he doesn't, in the moments of the slam finals, do things differently, it's not going to change, right? But Zverev will win a slam eventually. Okay. Berrettini's going to serve to take us to a third. All right. Here we go. Berrettini serves. A fault. Second serve. Oh, pardon me. As we got a 4 in the net from Berrettini, love 15. Love 15. Love 15. He's got a forehand wide by Zverev, 15-0. As Berrettini serves again. And the return goes in the net from Zverev. Berrettini too strong, 30-15. Cam, do you think team's best surface was clay or hard courts? Clay. Easily. Like, that's not even a... Like, Chad, am I wrong? 30-15. His best surface was clay. His most successful surface, you could say, was hard courts, but his best surface was clay. As that goes out by Zverev, 40-15. Yeah, he was the Prince of Clay. Exactly. What a time to be alive when he was the Prince of Clay. 2019. Oh, love it. Love it. 2019 was such a great year watching Dominic Thiem. All right, Berrettini takes us to a third. Berrettini serves. Zverev returns into the forehand of Berrettini. And Berrettini puts it away. We're going 3, baby. We're going 3. Just when we thought this match was a little bit snoozy, Berrettini picks it up. We're going 3. All right. Berrettini lights the crowd up. And we're going to a third. We are going to a third. Okay. Cool. Much better set by Berrettini, by the way. Much better set. Why do I feel like an epic third set's coming up? I hope so. That'd be a great way to end the day. 7-5 third set, you reckon? Okay. All right. By the way, I'm just having a look here. So you've got Mahat trying to win the second set against Baez. Also, Griekspoor and Fisa in a battle. And Echeverry, Mutea in a third set at the moment as well. So it's all happening. Okay. What's my prediction for the third set? Well, I said Zverev in 3, so I'm going to stick with that. I wouldn't say Sasha is struggling. It's just Berrettini got better. Yeah. I mean, look, this hasn't been the greatest quality match. They've both not played the best. But, yeah, Berrettini lifted in the second. Is Gaudio in the top 5 best Argentine men's players ever? Good question. Good question. Very good question. You would say... Well, you got to say Vilas, Del Potro, right? That would be on the same level. Clerk as well. He won a bunch of slams. Oh, he won a few slams. As Berrettini was the first point, left 15. So Vilas is the best Argentine ever on the men's side. Sorry, Lewis, I thought Clerk won slams. Didn't he win slams? No. I thought he maybe was open. I swear he won slams. No, he didn't. Okay, I lied. He was top 10, though. Number 4 in the world. I guess... So, okay, so Gaudio... Is Gaudio only the third Argentine male to win a slam? That's crazy. Well, he was the second behind... Wait, hang on. So Vilas, Gaudio, Delpo. They're the only 3 players from Argentina winning slams. That's crazy. I thought there was way more. I thought way more. Obviously, Coria should have been. Nalbandian, I would say Nalbandian top 5. I guess you got to put Gaudio in there because he won the French. Gaudio's record against top 10 players wasn't great, though. Gaudio was number 5 in the world. He won 8 titles. He won 270 times, which was less than the others. I guess you got... I mean, if we're saying just men, because obviously on the women's side, you've got Sabatini, who's probably top... second, at least second behind Vilas all time. I mean, yeah, I guess you have to, right? You got to say he's probably in the conversation. Is he top 3? Probably not. I mean, yeah. Does the French Open outweigh Coria's Monte Carlos and stuff? That's the question. Because Coria did do some damage on 1,000 levels, right? He won, I think, Miami or something, and maybe Monte Carlo and stuff. So does Coria versus Gaudio, Korea, that could be interesting. So Vilas, Delpo, Nalbandian, Gaudio? I don't know, because he didn't do much else other than that. That's the thing. Gaudio had a great French Open, but other than that, he did nothing. Played the ATP Finals once, but that was it. But outside of that, it was like he was not really... Like that was... He was the... I mean... He shone bright and then disappeared. Great one-handed backhand, though. You got to say Coria was better, maybe. It just depends on how much weight you put on a... How much do you give that French Open win compared to Coria, who... Well, Coria only won 9 titles. Okay, I thought Coria won more. Coria was the king of clay before Rafa. If you know, you know. If you remember. Coria only won 2 1,000s. I thought he won more. He lost to Roddick in Madrid, Miami. He then lost to Rafa a couple of times in Roger. He won Monte Carlo in 04. All right, now I'll say Gaudio ahead of Coria. Yeah. I'd say Gaudio top 5. Yep, I'll give him that. Anyways, Berrettini to win or 15 love. But I think Nalbandian over Gaudio. So I'd say top 3 would be Vilas, Delpo, Nalbandian. And then maybe Gaudio, and then you can pick 5. We can have a fight about who's number 5. Maybe Coria, maybe someone else. All right, 15 love, second serve. Serve goes into the back of Zverev. Forehand from Berrettini. Into the forehand of Zverev on the stretch. Goes wide. It's 30 love. 30 love. Love. Serve again from Berrettini. The fault, second serve. Second serve. As the return goes in the forehand of Berrettini. Backhand Zverev in the net. 40 love. Berrettini to level the final set. $40 love. $40 love. Serve again. Berrettini. Into the backhand is Zverev. Berrettini forehand down the line. Zverev gets there on the stretch. Berrettini forehand cross. Zverev goes into the net. It's 1-1. All right. One game all. All right. Back to Zverev. As we just serve from Zverev in the back of Berrettini. Into the back of Zverev. Berrettini goes to the volley of Zverev, but Zverev has to put away the smash. And he does. 15 love. Top 5 current ATP players who haven't won a slam. I mean, that's kind of easy. Zverev. Fritz. Tsitsipas. Boy, Tsitsipas, if he loses today, he'll be number 17 in the world. Are you kidding me? So, no particular order, right? Zverev, Tsitsipas, Rune. And these are players that I think will go on to win a slam, right? So I'm going to leave the players that I don't think will win one. But I think the players the top 5 that I think will win one, or that should win one, Zverev, Tsitsipas, Rune, Draper, Rude? I'll go Rude because I think a French Open might be on his card. I'll say Rude because I was thinking Rublev or Fritz, but I don't know where I could see Fritz winning one on hard courts. Maybe Fritz wins a Wimbledon, but I think Rude at a French Open is more likely out of all the other possibilities. So I'll say Rude. And Rude's made 3 finals, right? Whereas Fritz has made 1, so it makes sense. And Rublev's not made a final at all, so I'll say Rude. So Zverev, Tsitsipas, Rude, Rune, and I'll throw in Draper as well. In no particular order. 30-15. 7 to the forehand of Berrettini. Forehand out from Zverev as a winner, 40-15. And that's not saying that like Mensik and Shelton can't win. I'm just thinking like the top 5 right now. And I think Draper's top 5, obviously he's in the top 10, so he's going to be in the top 5 of, champions, next Grand Slam champions. Zverev's there, obviously. I think Rune's there as well. Rude, I think, is still in the conversation for now. And then I'll pick Tsitsipas as well. Again, guys who have made multiple Grand Slam finals or are are pushing towards that chance of winning a slam. I mean, Draper and Rune, you got to say they're the next guys under 23 to win a slam, right? They're the next guys in line to win a slam at under 23. As at a forehand down the line, the backhand is Zverev on the stretch. Backhand of Berrettini sliced. Into the forehand is Zverev. As Berrettini backhand into the net. 2-1 Zverev. Final set. Winner plays the winner of Musetti and Lehechka, who I think are playing tomorrow. Where would I put Rublev? I put Rublev probably in 6 or 7 or 8. I think Fritz would be 6. Rublev in 7 or 8. I don't know. It's hard to say Rublev can win a slam when he hasn't even made it past the quarters. So it's like Fritz is more of a chance because of the final. Is there a cat next to your microphone? No? I have a dog. Rude made 2 finals back-to-back at French Open and the semis last year when he lost to Zverev. So you got to say Rude is still a legitimate chance of winning a French Open. His window is open. His window is still open for me. Especially with Rafa gone. I mean, we think that Alcaraz is next. He's going to be Rafa. But, French Open's still up for grabs. Rafa left it. He left it from at the top, right? I mean, Rafa retired the French Open by winning it, basically, right? I mean, yeah, okay, he lost last year, but I mean, Rafa was dominating the French Open until he walked away. So nobody can claim the French as they're the guy. It's kind of like the women's side on the Wimbledon, right? No one on the women's side is claiming that Wimbledon is theirs. The French Open's up for grabs, so maybe Ruud can take one. Maybe. I mean, look at the early 2000s, late 90s, right? The French Open was never dominated by anybody until Rafa came along. We had random champions all over the place at the French Open at the end of the 2000s. Or the end of the 90s. Sorry, start of the 2000s. Ferrero got one, Moya got one, Correia, Costa, Quirton got a couple. Throughout the 90s. There was a lot of Muster got one, right? So the French Open was always a bit random before Rafa came along and said, hey, this is how you win this tournament more than anybody else could win anything ever. As Berrettini in the net, love 15. So, I think there is a chance that, Ruud could win one, I don't think Alcaraz is going to go on a domination of French Opens like Rafa, because it's impossible. Rafa did it impossibly. And as love 15, return goes out from Zverev. 15-0. But he's going to have to win Ruud this year or next year, it feels. I don't think he's going to, his last 3 French Opens have been final, semi-final. He's going to have to probably win this year or next year before Alcaraz does kick off, or even Sinner, figures out how to play on clay consistently. It feels like Ruud's going to have to win this year or next year. Kind of like Zverev. I mean, Zverev's probably going to have to win this year or next year at the French. While there's still a chance, Because who knows, in 2 years' time, might be Fonseca, might be Alcaraz, right? They might share the French. Sinner might be a clay beast, It's the window is open, but for how long? 30-15? 30-15. Ruud has no chance against Alcaraz on clay? Yeah, but you're assuming that Alcaraz is unstoppable on clay. And I don't think he is yet. I don't think Alcaraz is I mean, look at the French Open results, right? He's, he's not yet a dominant French Open champion. He's won 1. And he played 2 5-setters to get there. So, you're going off the fact that, that he's never going to lose to anybody. But Ruud might not have to play Alcaraz, And we know this year that, as Berrettini, it's a lovely backhand win of 40-15. Ruud might not have to play Alcaraz to win the French. He might just have to play Zverev. Or maybe he plays Sinner. Or maybe he plays Tsitsipas. Or maybe, maybe he doesn't have to play. He might avoid Alcaraz. I wouldn't mind seeing Ruud versus Zverev in a final of the French, personally. I think that would be a great final. They've played some great matches against each other on clay. First-time champion, someone's winning a Grand Slam. I wouldn't mind that being the French Open final this year. I don't know if we get that, but I wouldn't say no to that final. 40-15. As a back and return, into the forehand of Berrettini. Slice now goes to the forehand of Zverev. Into the backhand of Berrettini. Forehand from Zverev again. The forehand of Berrettini is... Berrettini hits an inside-out winner. Man, Berrettini is playing so much better. 2-0. 2-0. I kind of want to see Zverev versus Sinner on clay. That'd be fun. All right. Ruud making another slam final is kind of difficult, not going to lie. I'll be honest. I mean, right now, I think this year, Ruud's got a great chance of making the final of the French. Because right now, no one, in Sinner's absence, no one stepped up. And we're playing on clay now, so that's Ruud's home turf, right? I mean, Ruud made the final here. He won Barcelona last year and then made the semis of the French. I mean, I think Casper Ruud, this is an opportunity. You know, last year, it's funny because last year, as well as Ruud did, it was all really about Rafa, right? We're all talking about Rafa, Sinner, Alcaraz, right? Ruud played well at the start of the clay season, but then after that, we kind of were just like farewelling Rafa. We're talking about, Zverev, and, Ruud kind of went under the radar after Barcelona. He obviously didn't do great in, Madrid and stuff, but I don't know. I think Ruud, we forgot about Ruud. And he even made the semis of the French, but we forgot that too because of Alcaraz and Sinner. And the final was a 5-set banger, right? So we don't remember the semi that was 4 sets, where Ruud got sick after 1 set and then lost, right? Yeah, we're talking about Casper Ruud. Sorry. Did I say Runa? Sorry, Ruud. Casper Ruud. Yeah, Ruud won the first set against Zverev and then got sick. Nice set against Zverev, 40 love. But remember, Ruud beat Zverev the year before, in 23, to get to the final. So, Ruud can beat Zverev on the clay in Roland Garros. Now, you're right. Can he beat Sinner? Can he beat Alcaraz? I don't know. But if he plays Zverev, he's got a chance. And if Zverev beats Alcaraz along the way, which can happen, and, Sinner doesn't quite get the rust out because he hasn't played for a while, that he might, Sinner's not he's not known as a clay courter yet, right? We don't think Sinner and clay are, that's not his favorite surface yet. You just don't know. Maybe it opens up for Ruud and he gets to the final, and obviously we're not talking about Djokovic. Djokovic is also in the draw. We've got to wait for him as well. But Djokovic did, I don't know if Ruud can beat Djokovic. I feel like that could be tough, but like in a 5-setter. 40-15. But again, I feel like this year's French Open is not like obvious. Like there's no obvious pick. You could pick Ruud and be correct, I think. As Zverev double faults, 40-30.
Let's hope in there.
40-30. As Zverev sits a massive serve down the tee. And it's 3-2. Three-two. Cam, how's Draper? I don't know. He's playing later. All right. Mahach versus Baez turned into a break fest. Did it? Yeah, so other matches going on right now. I've got Echeverry is up a break against Mute in the final set. Mahach and Baez are 1-1 in the third. Griekspoor won the first set tiebreak against Feast. So that's happening. And then still to come, we've got Draper taking on Giron. We've got Thompson taking on Tsitsipas. And Tiafoe and Kecmanovic. All happening later, but we're not watching any of those. Love the haircut. Thank you. I don't have the mullet like Mahach, but I have the hawk. All right. Here we go. Three, two. All right. Three, two. Would love to see Rude with the French. Oh, that'd be great, wouldn't it? And then Rafa gives him the trophy. Come on now. Come on now. That would be a nice moment, right? Rafa gives the trophy to Rude. Winning the French this year, that'd be something nice. That'd be a nice time. Anyway, 15 love. Berrettini serves again. A fault, second serve. Second serve. As return goes in the forehand of Berrettini. Back in his Zverev on the stretch. Berrettini hits it wide on the forehand. 15-all. 15-all. Serve again for Berrettini. As the return goes in the forehand of Berrettini. Forehand is Zverev. At the back of Berrettini. Zverev backhand goes to the forehand of Berrettini. Great shot. Zverev slices it back. But it goes long. 30-15. 30-15. 30-15. Serve again from Berrettini. Back in Zverev. Berrettini forehand in the line. Zverev gets on the stretch. Berrettini comes to the net. Zverev puts up a lob. And then a bounce smash from Berrettini. Puts it away. 40-15. I'll tell you this, chat. Things get very interesting. Berrettini's playing very solid. Zverev has to find a way to win this match. Because this is not going to be a good start to the clay season if he loses this in a close heartbreaker. This is going to hurt. If he loses this match, Zverev. It's going to just be just terrible for the confidence as it's already been terrible. As Berrettini in the net, 40-30. I don't think Berrettini needs to win as much as Zverev. I think Berrettini, if he loses this match, he'll go, you know what? I was competitive. I played at a high level. I lost to the best player in the tour, like the number one in the tournament, right? The number one seed, right? But Zverev, if he loses this match, he continues his bad form. He loses to a guy that he's got a good record against. You know, another upset. I mean, I feel like it's just Zverev's got to win this, especially now. I mean, if he loses this in a close heartbreaker, that sucks. 40-30. Whereas Berrettini could lose this match, and I think he would still take away a lot of positives and feel pretty, just be like, oh, unlucky. If I was seeded, I wouldn't play this guy. Berrettini hits a winner. It's 3-all. 3-all. This crowd is so pro Berrettini too. All the Italians have shown up. All right, 3 games all, final set. If Zverev loses, honestly, will lose first round every tournament. His confidence will be at its lowest. Yeah, I'll tell you this though. I will say on a positive thing, if Zverev does lose this, I think mathematically he can't be number one. So maybe having that burden of possibility of being number one mathematically in the rankings, if that's not a possibility anymore, maybe that'll help him and he'll be able to play without that in his mind. But Still, I think he needs to win a match like this. It's not like at this point he's not going to be number one. We know that, right? He ain't going to be the number one in the world. Doesn't matter if he, forget about that. But winning this match, if you're going to win a French Open, you need to win this match. But this match is a part of the French Open form, right? If Zverev wants to win Roland Garros 2025, he's going to have to clutch this out. Because the way that he's been playing lately, he ain't going to win the French. All right, love 15. Love 15. And this this crowd is so Berrettini. Matteo. They are so pro Berrettini. Love that for him. Love 15. This would be a huge... I'll tell you what. If Berrettini wins this chat and beats... Like, he already beat Djokovic this year. I mean, Berrettini's 2025. I meing, what a year. Forehand down the line at the back of the Berrettini. Slice goes into the front of Zverev. Zverev hits it wide. Love 30. Love 30. Berrettini looking to break. Love 30. Serve again. And to serve. Into the forehand of Berrettini. Forehand from Zverev. As Berrettini with a backhand pass. Zverev with a volley. Berrettini gets it. Oh, it's an in! No way!
This is going to be on Tennis TV.
Somehow Berrettini gets it. He slides and then just swats a forehand for a winner. Love 40 Berrettini. What was that? I mean, Zverev's drop volley was horrendous. That was a horrendous drop volley. Like, he just, like, shanked it was almost like a lob. It was horrible. And Berrettini slides the forehand down the line. Beautiful shot. Love 40. Love 40. Serve to the forehand of Berrettini. Return goes in the back of Zverev. As Berrettini slice. Zverev goes into the forehand of Berrettini. Now Zverev in trouble. Berrettini comes in with a half volley, but it's in the net. Ooh. 15-40. 15-40. Still break points. I tell you, chat. Zverev needs... Like, if he wants to get his confidence back, this is a situation that if he somehow wins this match from this point, that'll give him a lot of confidence. But it feels like he's a long way away from anything. Berrettini looking at a second serve. 15-40. 15-40. Serve. Into the back of Berrettini. Return goes to the front of Zverev. Berrettini. Forehanded into the net. 30-40. 30-40. Still break point. 30-40. Serve for Zverev. Into the forehand of Berrettini. Return goes to the forehand of Zverev. Berrettini backhand. Into the forehand of Zverev. Again, the back of Berrettini. And Zverev hits a backhand into the forehand of Berrettini. Now Zverev with a forehand cross. Berrettini goes into the forehand of Zverev. And Berrettini with a backhand passing shot. He breaks. Zverev couldn't volley it back. Berrettini breaks final set 4-3. All right. 4-3 Berrettini, and the crowd's gone crazy. They're going crazy out there. Berrettini is going to serve. He's 2 games away. All right. All right. Let's see if Berrettini can finish the job. Berrettini's too predictable. It's far from done. Too unpredictable. It's far from done. Yeah, maybe. What do you think about Sasha's performance? At this stage, we are just at a point where Berrettini wants it more. That's what we're watching here. Berrettini, he wants to win this. Zverev is playing not to lose, which is the problem with Zverev's career, right? It's always been Zverev playing not to lose. That's been the biggest issue in his career. Plays finals like that in slams. There's been so many times that Zverev has just played safe and not, when there's been a moment to play aggressive and try and win, he hasn't. And today is that, and Berrettini is doing what Zverev should be doing. Stepping up, winning this match. But Berrettini's still got to win this match. But Berrettini in the last couple of sets, after that first set where he was horrible, last couple of sets, Berrettini stepped up big time and Zverev's just kind of like waiting for him to make errors. It's weird. Let's see if Berrettini can hold his nerve, though. As Berrettini serves. A fault. Second serve. And the backhand return goes in the backhand of Berrettini. Backhand from Zverev into the forehand of Berrettini. Into the backhand of Zverev. Berrettini slice. Into the forehand of Zverev. It's Berrettini slice on the stretch. Zverev forehand down the line. Berrettini's got it. But it's in the net. Love 15. Love 15. Nearly 2 hours played, by the way. Love 15. Love 15. As we return to the slice of Berrettini. Point out from Zverev in the net. 15-0. And Zverev's dad cannot watch. He's just picking his fingernails at this point. $15-0. Berrettini serves again. Serving to the forehand of Zverev. Return goes to the forehand of Berrettini. Comes to the net. Zverev with the forehand inside out. Winner. Okay, Berrettini a little unlucky.
This is going to be on tennis TV.
Let's see if Zverev can make the most of this one. 15-30. Berrettini just kind of... He didn't quite get the slice he wanted, I think. He kind of hit the tape and it popped up. That was just unlucky. Otherwise, Berrettini would have had an easier, possibly a better chance at the net. 15-30. Serve again. Into the forehand of Zverev. Return goes into the forehand of Berrettini. Zverev forehand again. Berrettini inside out. Goes to the backhand of Zverev. Into the forehand of Berrettini. Zverev backhand again. Into the slice of Berrettini. Zverev again to the slice of Berrettini. Into the backhand of Zverev. Is Berrettini forehand down the line. Great shot. Zverev slices it back. Berrettini forehand cross. Zverev gets there, but it's in the net. 30-0. Nice hitting from Berrettini. Again, just wants it more. He's been the aggressive guy. He's been the one going after it. 30-0. Berrettini is playing to win. 30-0. Berrettini serves again. $30-0. And Berrettini serves. To the back of Zverev. Return goes short. Berrettini forehand. Zverev with the pass. In the net. Again, Berrettini aggressive. 40-30. To go to 5-3 in the third, Berrettini. 40-30. Serve. Into the back of Zverev. Return to the forehand of Berrettini. And Zverev forehand to the forehand again of Berrettini. Now Zverev with the forehand again to the forehand of Berrettini. Inside out to the back of Zverev. Berrettini forehand goes down the middle of the net. Deuce. Pardon me. Deuce. Oh, shit, I gotta stop vaping. All right, deuce. Deuce. 2 hours played. And Berrettini serves again. Into the forehand of Zverev. Return goes into the forehand of Berrettini. Zverev forehand down the line. The backhand of Berrettini. Into the backhand of Zverev as Berrettini slice. In the net. Advantage Zverev. Zverev gets a life. Advantage Zverev. Berrettini needs the serves. Here's Zverev's chance. Serve. To the backhand of Zverev. Return goes in. Berrettini comes to the net. Zverev with the pass. Is wide. Zverev had a chance. Zverev had a chance. It just missed.
It's out! It's out!
It just missed. It was a very hard passing shot. It would have been it was such a small gap to hit down. So close. It was a tough chance, but it was a chance. All right, back to deuce. Like, he's hit those winners before. Serve down to see the backhand of Zverev return. Into the forehand of Berrettini. Berrettini puts it away. Advantage Berrettini. Advantage Berrettini. Advantage Berrettini. Go to 5-3. Serve. To the forehand of Zverev. Return. Into the forehand of Berrettini. Zverev. Again to the forehand of Berrettini. Zverev. Goes again to the forehand of Berrettini. Zverev forehand down the line. Berrettini gets on the stretch. But what happened? Oh, something fell out of the sky. They're going to replay the point. Okay. Did it come out of Berrettini's pocket? Is that what? Piece of paper or something? Crowd are booing Zverev here, which is not right, because Zverev was just... I mean, Zverev's had injuries where he's tripped over, so... I think it was a piece of paper came out of Berrettini's pocket, yeah. Something came out of Berrettini's pocket, so... That's why Zverev stopped the point. Which... Maybe Berrettini... I don't know. I mean... Zverev stopped the point, and then the umpire said let. So, I mean, I don't know... Doesn't make a difference. Berrettini wins the game. 5-3. I don't know. I mean, yeah. It didn't really make a difference. I mean, Zverev probably was playing well in that rally anyway, and then Berrettini ended up just hitting a massive serve anyway. So it's probably worse for Zverev that they replayed it. All right, Berrettini's up 5-3. He's one game away from a massive win. And knocking out Zverev. And this crowd are going nuts for Berrettini. They are going crazy. All the kids are going for Berrettini. They're all going for Berrettini. It's Berrettini's house. No sinner, no problem. Zverev serving to stay in the match. All right. As Zverev serves a fault. Second serve. Second serve. So the first serve was a let. Second serve was a fault. Third serve. Third serve. Into the forehand of Berrettini. He hits it out in the return. 15 love. And Chad, I know it was a small chance. By the way, is that Fanini? There was a little chance that Zverev could have broken back. That down-the-line forehand passing shot winner that missed by this much. That's how close he was to getting back. Will Berrettini, if he serves for the match, give Zverev another chance? That is a question. All right. Backhand return the net from Berrettini. 30 love. 30 love. Match wins. Nice. Good win against Baez. Baez is a tough. Baez is tough. Also, Echeverry wins against Mute. Coming back from a set down seems to be the theme of the day. As we're backhand now from Berrettini to the backhand Zverev. Berrettini forward on the stretch. Zverev down the line. Berrettini pass in the net. 40 love. Zverev to make Berrettini serve for the match. As it goes out from Berrettini, and Zverev holds. Whoops. All right. Berrettini's going to serve for the match. 5-4. All right. All right. How we doing, chap? How often do I vape? I don't vape. I was just making a joke. If I smoked, I wouldn't be able to talk as much as I do. All right. Berrettini serving the match. Here we go. Hey, Kathy, thank you for the 36 months. Appreciate that. Welcome back. Wait, is that 3 years? 36? Yeah. Thank you for the 3 years. Damn. All right, 5-4 Berrettini serving for the match. All right, return goes in the backhand of Berrettini. Backhand of Zverev, the backhand again of Berrettini. Sliced into the backhand of Zverev as Berrettini backhand in the net. Love 15. Love 15. Zverev wins the first point. Love 15. All right, serve again. The forehand is Zverev. Return goes to the forehand of Berrettini. Berrettini to wide. Love 30. Love 30. Love 30. Berrettini serves. Into the forehand of Zverev. Return goes to the forehand of Berrettini. Zverev backhand on the stretch. Is Berrettini forehand to the forehand of Zverev. Into the forehand of Berrettini. Down the line to the backhand of Zverev on the stretch. Again to the forehand of Berrettini. Berrettini in the net. Love 40. Love 40. 3 break points for Zverev to get back on serve. Love 40. Berrettini serves. To the backhand is Zverev. Return is short. Berrettini drop shot. Winner. 1 saved. 15-40. $15.40. Still break points to Zverev. Serve. Is a fault by Berrettini. Second serve. Second serve. To the forehand of Zverev. Return goes into the forehand of Berrettini. Berrettini in the nets! We're back on serve. We're back on serve. Berrettini gets a little nervous. We're back on serve. 5-5. All right. Zverev gets a lifeline. He gets a little lucky. Gets a little fortunate. All right, Zverev serves a fault. Second serve. Show him why you're top seed, Sasha. He's top seed because Sinner got banned. 5-0. Double fault.
Let's open there.
Five. Love 15. Serve for Zverev. Into the forehand of Berrettini. To the back of Zverev. Berrettini with the forehand inside out. Is a winner. Love 30. This is a nervous end to this match. All right. Love 30. Love 30. Serve. And the return goes in. The forehand is Zverev. Berrettini forehand slice on the stretch. Into the backhand is Zverev. Berrettini, good defense. Another slice in the backhand is Zverev. Into the forehand now of Berrettini. Now Zverev with the backhand on the stretch. Berrettini slices again. Zverev goes down the line in the forehand of Berrettini. Berrettini hits it wide and it's 15-30. 15-30. Serve again. As we serve again from Zverev. There's a fault. Second serve. Second serve. As the return goes in the backhand of Zverev. Forehand Berrettini. To the backhand of Zverev as Berrettini sliced down the line. Zverev with the forehand cross as Berrettini goes again. The forehand of Zverev. Into the backhand of Berrettini with the slice. Zverev with the forehand. I think he thought Berrettini was hitting it out. Now Berrettini's in control. Zverev's in trouble. Forehand Berrettini down the line. Zverev with the slice backhand. Berrettini with the volley. Oh, is it in? It's in.
This is gonna be on tennis TV.
Great shot, Berrettini on the stretch. Zverev thought one of those shots was out and he just kind of like flicked it in the air. 15-40. Wow. That was a mistake by Zverev. He thought one of Berrettini's slices was going long and he just kind of like gave up the point, and Berrettini, I mean, that drop volley was ridiculous. Ridiculous drop volley, but he would never have had that chance if Zverev didn't just sort of kind of just give up the point. Just thinking Berrettini's shots aren't going to go in. 15-40, Berrettini to break again and serve the match again. Serve. Zverev. The return goes in. Zverev forehand. Down the line winner. One save. 30-40. 30-40. One saved. 30-40. By the way, don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already. We're going to be back tomorrow for another big day of tennis. So much tennis coming up over the next few weeks. All right, 30-40. We've been lucky. We've had yesterday and today. These matches have been, the two matches we thought would be good have been exactly what we'd hoped. Medvedev versus Hashanov in this one. Bangers. Serve. There's a fault by Zverev. Second serve. Uzalet. Hit the tape and just went, I'll go in, okay. I'll go in this time. Still a second serve. Ah! Second serve. Second serve. Goes into the forehand of Berrettini. Backhand of Zverev. Into the backhand of Berrettini. And Zverev backhand into the Berrettini forehand. He hits it wide, Berrettini. And it's deuce. I love that Berrettini went for it, though. Berrettini was going for it. He just sprayed the forehand. All right, deuce. Zverev hanging on. Geez, chat, are you nervous? One in the chat if you're nervous, chat. Two in the chat if you're not nervous or something. All right, deuce. Serve. Down the tee is a fault from Zverev. Second serve. Second serve. Second serve. The forehand of Berrettini. Return goes into the forehand of Zverev. As Berrettini runs around, hits the forehand inside out. Into that Zverev backhand. As Berrettini forehand again. To the backhand of Zverev. Now Berrettini's hitting a slice backhand. Zverev backhand again. Now Berrettini forehand goes inside out again. Zverev goes with the backhand down the line. Berrettini now running. As Zverev hits a forehand down the line. Berrettini's there with the backhand slice again. Zverev's backhand as Berrettini runs around into forehand inside out. Berrettini's now with another forehand, goes cross court. Zverev's got it with his own forehand into the backhand of Berrettini. Zverev with the backhand again to the backhand of Berrettini. Sliced into the forehand of Zverev as Berrettini's backhand goes cross court. Zverev goes down the line with the backhand. That's a great shot. Slice goes in from Berrettini. As Zverev goes down the line to the backhand of Berrettini into the backhand of Zverev. As Berrettini slices again. To the backhand, Zverev goes down the line. That's a great shot. Berrettini slices it back again. Great defense from Berrettini. Backhand cross. Goes into the backhand, Zverev goes down the line. Berrettini again with a slice forehand. Into the forehand, Zverev. As a backhand from Berrettini. Zverev backhand again. Into the backhand of Berrettini sliced. As Zverev backhand goes down the line. Now Berrettini with the forehand cross. Into the forehand, Zverev. Berrettini slices it again. As Zverev backhand again to the slice. Oh, to the top spin, Berrettini. What a shot down the line. Now Berrettini's in control. He comes to the end with the winner. What a rally by Berrettini! That was like 40 shots! And he's got a break point chance. What the hell was that rally? Zverev is stuffed. Zverev is so tired. He's got hands on knees. The ball kid's like, you want a ball? He's just like, shh, just give me a chance. 40-shot rally. And Berrettini ends it with a backhand down the line, followed up with a massive forehand winner. Berrettini wanted it more. 48 shots, chat. What? Crazy. Both tired, both stuffed. Umpire, shut the hell up. Don't give any time violations. We all need a break after that, all right? Advantage Berrettini to break Zverev and serve the match again. What a rally. Berrettini just went for the backhand and Zverev just couldn't defend. Advantage Berrettini. Zverev looks tired. The crowd are not letting him serve. 48 shots. What the hell? Serve. Into the forehand of Berrettini. Return the backhand of Zverev. Berrettini backhand. Slice on the stretch. As Zverev forehand again to the backhand of Berrettini. Sliced. Into the forehand of Zverev. As Berrettini backhand slice again. Backhand again from Zverev. As slice Berrettini goes into the backhand again of Zverev. Berrettini runs around into forehand inside out. Goes into the backhand of Zverev again to the forehand of Berrettini. Now Zverev. Backhand. Again to the forehand of Berrettini. Goes down the line. Now Zverev's forehand goes cross court. Berrettini slaps it down the line. Zverev's in trouble. Backhand of Berrettini is a slice. Zverev. He gets it back. But it goes long. Berrettini's going to serve for the match again. And Zverev is very, very tired looking. Somebody's doing a gritty. What the hell? What the hell? You can't do that in the crowd. You can't. What are you doing? You can't do that. Linda.
Welcome to the Matteo Show.
It is the Matteo Show. Someone's hitting the gritty. What the hell? The crowd's gone wild. All right. Berrettini's going to try again, win this match. Chat, we've had some crazy rallies in the last couple of games. Crazy rallies. All right. Berrettini on clay versus on grass. I still say he's better on grass, but he can also play on clay. This looked like it was going to be an easy win for Zverev for the first set. Wow, yep. Yes, it did. Until it didn't. Yeah, grass because of the slice and the serve. I agree. He's definitely more effective on grass, Berrettini. Like his game on Berrettini. I mean, this wouldn't have been a close match if it was on grass. Berrettini would have whooped him. All right. Again, don't forget to sub if you haven't already. We're coming back tomorrow. Djokovic and Alcaraz are playing against other players, but they're playing tomorrow. Also other matches as well. We'll probably keep an eye on, so make sure you join us for that. But this match is a banger. We had Medvedev versus Hashanov last night. It was epic. And this is better. This has been a better match than yesterday. At least a more stressful match in this final set. Can Berrettini win this match? The second chance he's got now. He served terrible in the last game. Let's see if he can get it this time. What a win for Berrettini. If he can get it. He serves. A fault. Second serve. Second serve. To the forehand of Zverev. Into the forehand of Berrettini. Zverev, forehand down the line. Berrettini slices it back. There's a backhand again from Zverev. Slice Berrettini again. The forehand of Zverev. Zverev shanks it. Okay, 15 love. Berrettini's slice, underrated. He's definitely worked on that. There was always that, like, Berrettini's backhand sucks. Berrettini's backhand is the weakness. By the way, that hit the back of the line. Very unlucky for Zverev, but Berrettini's slice was too good. 15-love. But now Berrettini's got the slice, and he's got a decent two-hander. Like, it's not the best backhand of all time, but it's not as bad as it used to be. It's not as big of a weakness, right? As Berrettini shanks that 15-0. Like, he's hitting backhands down the line, two hands, catching Zverev off guard, you know? All right, 15-0. As Berrettini serves again. Serve. There's a fault. Second serve. As a return. Goes in the forehand of Berrettini. Zverev with a slice forehand. Berrettini forehand again to the forehand of Zverev. As Berrettini forehand again to the forehand of Zverev. Into the forehand of Berrettini on the stretch. Goes wide. That was better by Zverev. He actually hit that one. 15-30. 15-30. By the way, check that 48-shot rally. Definitely starts the clay. Like, we're watching clay tennis now. Like, that doesn't happen. That doesn't happen at the Australian Open. That doesn't happen in Miami, right? That 48-shot rally, just that's the start of the clay season now. Clay court tennis has started officially. That was the cutting of the ribbon. That was the opening of the keg. That 48-shot rally. We're on the clay now. We're on clay tennis now. This is it. 15-30. As a backhand there by Zverev. Poor return. 30-0. 30-0. Berrettini 2 points away. Big point. Big point. Berrettini needs a first serve. Zverev needs a return. Berrettini serves. A fault. Second serve. Second serve. To the forehand of Zverev. Return goes into the forehand of Berrettini. As Zverev forehand. Goes out. Oh, man. What a terrible shot by Zverev. But that's just been the story of the day. Berrettini's got a match point to knock Zverev out. 40-30. What a win by Berrettini if he can get this point. And Zverev's got to figure out something because it's all been gone wrong. Ever since that Australian Open final, he just cannot win matches. 40-30. Berrettini to take the dub. He serves. A fault. Well, that was halfway up the net. That was nervous. That was a nervous serve. He's like, oh, shake that off. Second serve. That was a terrible first serve. Second serve. Serve goes in the back of Zverev. Return into the front of Berrettini. Zverev backhand down the line in the net. Matteo Berrettini knocks out Zverev in an epic three-setter. Zverev's got to answer questions. He's got to figure it out. I don't think he likes being the number one seed. I don't think he likes the fact that he could be number one. No, he can't be. But I don't think he likes any of that, Zverev. I think he likes being under the radar. He's like, Yannick Sinner, come back. Or Carlos, take my spot. I don't want to be number one anymore. You, Carlos, you take number two. I'll be number three. I'll just sit down the bottom of the draw and hide. I don't think Zverev likes being the center of attention. Because he's number one while Zverev's away. And he's lost, while Sinner's away, and every time he's played, he's looked terrible. He hasn't looked good as the best player on the planet, while the best player on the planet sits on the sidelines. Tough draw. Berrettini's great. We know that. GG's. But still, I don't think Zverev likes being the number one. I think he likes that. Maybe he doesn't feel like he deserves it because he's not a Grand Slam champion yet. But again, he's got to figure it out. He's got to figure it out because it's not just that he had an opportunity to be number one, but he's playing the worst tennis out of most. Is he playing the worst out of anybody in the top 10 right now? Like, his tennis has gone so backwards since Australia. And you can blame it on the pressure and you can blame it on the scar tissue, but like, he is the most vulnerable top 10 player at the moment. Like, anybody can take out Zverev. We've seen it. February we saw it. We saw it in March. We're seeing it in April. Tell you what though, Berrettini, that was a hell of a comeback. Great comeback, Berrettini. And like I said, he just wanted it more. Berrettini wanted it more. He goes for the backhands. He hits the forehand winners. He hits the serves. Like, Berrettini, he knew this was a chance. If I'm going to beat Zverev, it's going to be now. Berrettini's 2025, kind of underrated. He beats Djokovic. He's beaten Zverev. I mean, Berrettini, if he stays healthy, top 10, maybe. Sinner Berrettini, top 10? Hello? Maybe. Love that for Matteo. Hopefully he stays healthy. Anyways, he's got a good draw too. He might play Musetti in the next round. But love that for Berrettini. All right. Now, the good thing for Zverev is he's going back to Munich next week. So he's going back home. And he's won that title before. So maybe being back in Germany, playing a 500 in Germany, where I think he's well and truly the best player in the draw, because most others have gone to Barcelona. Maybe that'll help him. You know, Fritz and look, if Zverev doesn't win Munich, I don't know what. It's Fritz, Shelton, FAA, Humbert, Cerundolo, Hurkacz, Lehechka. Zverev is the number one in the number one seed. Like that, I mean, if Zverev doesn't at least get to the final of Munich, that's bad, because like Fritz and Shelton are the next best seeds, and on clay they're not a threat. So Zverev is by far the best player in that tournament. Let's hope he makes the most of it. Whereas everyone's playing, all the tough players are playing in Barcelona, right? Alcaraz, Ruud, Tsitsipas, Rublev, Runa, Musetti, Fils, they're all playing in Barcelona. So Zverev's avoided them. So you got to make it count. If he's going to go home, play Munich, you got to win that tournament. Because otherwise, if he doesn't make the final, he's got to make the final. I mean, I don't even think he can afford to make the semis and lose. Like, he has to make the final. But yeah, great win by Berrettini. Great win for Berrettini. Talk more about Carlos. He's not playing today. We'll talk about him tomorrow when he plays. Bring your Carlos questions tomorrow. All right. What a match, chat. Chat, we've been so spoiled. Clay season, besides the Runa, retirement, the two matches we've watched so far, besides the Runa retirement, have been epic. By the way, Tiafoe's up 4-love. Excuse me? How's Tiafoe up 4-love? Are they playing on clay? What's going on? What is happening? How is Big Foe up 4-love against Kecmanovic? That's insane. What the hell? Yeah, that's it for today. Cam, check the leaderboard? Of what? For what? Oh, Dutchie, you're number one. Nice. Nice one. Yeah, Big Foe, what the hell? Nah, I'm not watching Thompson Tsitsipas. I feel sad for either who lost. Love them both. Wanted both to win. Okay. Look. Like I said, I think Zverev needed the win more, but love that for Berrettini. In my opinion, Carlos have the conditions to win Monte-Carlo, Barcelona, and Madrid. I think he could, yeah, for sure. Yeah. Matteo trying to beat the whole top 10 this year. Yeah, well, let's give Berrettini a little praise here, because I know everyone's going to be talking about Zverev and what the hell's wrong. We all know what's going on, but Berrettini is as an unseeded player right now is the most dangerous player in the world. He's beaten Djokovic, Zverev. He lost a 3-setter to Fritz in the quarterfinals in Miami. He lost to Tsitsipas in Indian Wells in straights. He beat Demon Or at number 11 in the world in Miami, so almost another top 10 win there. His worst loss was to Griekspoor in Rotterdam in a final set tiebreak. He has lost to Draper and Rune and Tsitsipas as well. He's won 10 matches, lost 7. But the 7 matches he's lost, like I said, Fritz, Tsitsipas, Rune, Draper, Tsitsipas again. So 5 of those 7 losses have been against top quality guys. And the other ones were against, he lost a match to Thompson in 3 in Brisbane. So Thompson in Australia. And then also Griekspoor in Rotterdam. So Griekspoor in a 3-setter in the Netherlands. So Berrettini's having a crazy season. He just needs his ranking to be a little bit higher so that way he doesn't have to play Zverev in the second round. But Berrettini, like, if he stays healthy, look out. Because he is on fire this year. And he's in the top 30, almost back in the top 30. So he's going to be unseeded no more. So he'll be a tough first couple of, maybe a third round opponent. But Berrettini, healthy Berrettini is a dangerous Berrettini. Madrid is going to be special because not only play home, but is the documentary going to release that tournament? True. For Alcaraz, yeah. Thompson and Tsitsipas have started, have they? Wimbledon's going to be crazy with Berrettini in form, Sinner hungry, Djokovic determined for 25, Alcaraz looking for a hat trick and Kyrgios coming back. Oh, it could be crazy. That could be some crazy tennis for sure. It could be crazy. So chat, tomorrow, I'm looking at the schedule. The schedule for tomorrow is looking interesting. So, like I said, we've got Alcaraz and Djokovic playing tomorrow. Medvedev's playing as well. We've got Rublev and Monfils. Musetti Lehechka. That's an interesting matchup as well. So those are all the matches that are on the card on my radar for tomorrow. But yeah, we've been very lucky. The first couple of days of the clay season, we've had some bangers. Zverev now has a 4-3 record against Sinner and Berrettini. Yep. People, they're closing the gap. If Alcaraz wins in Monte-Carlo, he'll be taking the number 2 spot from Zverev. And I think that'll be the best thing for Zverev because then mentally he doesn't have to play as the best player on the planet. So the second best player on the planet. Yeah, you're right though. If Alcaraz wins Monte-Carlo, Alcaraz is number 2 in the world. And Zverev will go down number 3. Cerundolo is going to beat Alcaraz tomorrow. Look, Tabilo and Cerundolo could beat both Alcaraz and Djokovic tomorrow. We could have we could have proper carnage. The carnage just started today with Zverev, but it could continue on and get even worse tomorrow. So, yeah, watch out. Things could get out of hand. It could get a bit hectic tomorrow. Do you think Monte Carlo conditions are good for Carlos? He hasn't played enough Monte Carlo to know if it's good or not. But I wouldn't. Look, if he can win Barcelona, I think Monte Carlo is. He could win that too. I think he could win Monte Carlo. He just hasn't played enough Alcaraz because he's come in injured or he's skipped it completely because of injuries. Last year he pulled out because of the arm injury. The year before that, I think he lost it to. Did he lose to Fokina? No, Korda. Maybe. So he lost to somebody early, and then the year before that, he pulled out again. So he's only played one time here. So it's hard to know if it's good or bad. But I don't think it will be bad. I mean, if he can win Roland Garros, he can win clay events. So, it's not like this is a totally different clay event to anything else. He wins Barcelona, he can win Madrid, he's won Roland Garros. I mean, why couldn't he win it here? Now, he lost to Marijan in Rome, not here. Unless he lost to him here as well, did he? He lost to Marozsan here as well. Yeah, he played in 22 and lost to Carlos, yeah. Oh, sorry, lost a quarter, yeah. He played one time, lost. Can Tabilo really beat Djokovic again? I'm going to say no. I think Cerundolo could beat Alcaraz, but I don't think Djokovic is going to lose to Tabilo. Because Tabilo played a crazy first round. And I think beating Wawrinka was like a massive deal, especially because Tabilo's not been great. Cerundolo's been better than Tabilo. So I would say Alcaraz has got a worse matchup than Djokovic. I think Djokovic can win, will have an easier time. Cerundolo was, people don't remember because we don't watch clay in February, but Cerundolo was doing very well on the clay in February. And also, I know but Cam at Indian Wells, Cerundolo lost. Yeah, he did to lose to Alcaraz, but the second set was very close and he could have made it to a third. So it was straight sets, but the second set was close. And Cerundolo on clay, especially because Alcaraz hasn't played on clay yet. This is the first clay court match of the season for Alcaraz, right? Which is weird because usually he plays on clay by now. Cerundolo's coming in with some clay court tennis. He's made a final, he made a semi-final. So Cerundolo's been playing clay. So he's going to feel better on the surface, right? And he also won his first match against Fognini in straight sets really easily. So again, I think Cerundolo is a much bigger problem for Alcaraz than Tabilo is for Djokovic. They're both tough, but I think Cerundolo is tough, way tougher. Cerundolo beat De Minaur at Indian Wells. That was impressive, yeah. I don't think Novak has enough clay court preparations, though. Yeah, but Tabilo... I mean, if Cerundolo was playing Djokovic, I'd say... Again, I think Cerundolo is tougher than Tabilo. And if Cerundolo was playing Djokovic or Tabilo was playing Alcaraz, I would have said the same thing. Cerundolo might beat Djokovic, right? Cerundolo is the problem. It's not the matchup, it's the player, right? If you flip them, I would say that Cerundolo could beat Djokovic, the way that things have been going, again, because Cerundolo on clay is dangerous, and Tabilo's been good on clay in the time, but he's not, Cerundolo's is way scarier. So no matter which guy played Cerundolo is the problem. And Djokovic and Alcaraz have got to be on tomorrow. I mean, Tabilo is not going to be an easy walk in the park either, but Cerundolo is the danger. He's not someone you want to play on clay in the first round on... Yeah, exactly. Remember, Alcaraz has played 0 clay court matches this year. Usually he plays Rio or Buenos Aires. He's usually playing in February, but this is the first time that Alcaraz decided not to play the clay. He's played Rotterdam instead. He won Rotterdam. And then lost in Doha. But Cerundolo went home. He played in South America. He played the Golden Swing, right? And he won a lot of... He made the final, lost to Fonseca in Buenos Aires. He made the semis, I think, of Rio. I mean, he went home and he played well. Cerundolo had a good clay court. And then he had a great Indian Wells, right? So... Wait, let's have a look at Cerundolo's form. Because Cerundolo... I mean, I want to say that he made the quarterfinals in Indian Wells and Miami, did he? Or the fourth round? Yeah, he made the quarterfinals. Yeah, chat. If you look at me in the face and you're like, no, Alcaraz has got it. This is easy for Alcaraz. You are lying to yourself. Because Cerundolo is coming off since the Australian Open, where he made the third round, lost to De Minaur in 4. And he was up a set and almost up 2 sets to love against Demon in that match in Australia. He makes the final of Buenos Aires. He makes the quarters of Rio. He makes the semis of Santiago. Indian Wells quarterfinals. Miami quarterfinals. That is his losses this year. De Minaur in Australia. Fonseca in the final of Buenos Aires. Muller in Rio. Jera in Santiago. Jera won the title. Alcaraz in Indian Wells and Dimitrov in Miami. He's made the quarterfinals or better at every tournament since Australian Open. Cerundolo is a problem. He's a big problem. In fact, Cerundolo could win tomorrow. That's the form is... He's in better form than any of the people that I just spoke about. He's in better form than Alcaraz, who's like, gets to a quarterfinal, semi-final, and then lose the first round. Like Cerundolo's like, he didn't make it. He didn't lose early. He didn't lose in the second round. What's the betting look like tomorrow? Is Cerundolo a close? Is he close or what's up? I can't even tell. Cerundolo's got to be a chance, right? He's paying $4. Jeez. I mean, that wouldn't be I don't know, man. I mean, Cerundolo's never beaten Alcaraz, though. True, but Berrettini had never beaten Djokovic before he did this year, right? I mean, it seems like 2025 is the year that players are getting their first wins over players. And if Cerundolo's ever going to beat Alcaraz, it's going to be on a clay court. And this might be the time. I still probably pick Alcaraz, but still. Cerundolo's best chance to win against Carlos would be tomorrow. He's got like everything set up for him to win tomorrow. Like I think it's his best opportunity. If he doesn't win tomorrow, he'll probably never beat Carlos. No, Rune retired from his match today. He's not retiring tennis. Rune just pulled out of today because he was sick. Rune just withdrew today. He'll be back next week once the illness subsides. What happened to Novak's eye? He got a sty, and it then got infected. So just a freak accident. Nothing he could do about that. What do you get? Like a sty is like an ingrown eyelash sometimes, right? It can come from that, right? Either way, it's just an eye infection. Maybe it was because of contact lenses and whatever. That could happen. Maybe something just hit him in the eye. Something just a random thing. It looks ugly. It looks hideous. Like go see some footage. It's like, it looks rough. It looks really sore. There's not much you can do. You just have to kind of wait it out. I've had one before. It's not good. It's not fun. Would Tsitsipas losing to Thompson be the biggest upset for the second round? Probably, yeah, because on clay and Thompson's not the clay court guy that Tsitsipas is. Yeah, it looks really sore, yeah. It didn't look as bad in Miami as it does this week. This week it looks way worse. Like in Miami, it was like here looked really weird, but all the infection must have been pushed to the surface, and now like the sty itself is like a bubble, and it's like, ugh, gross. It's not good. Big Foe won the first at 6-2. I know, right? What the hell? Tiafoe is just beasting it. You know what? He must have listened to me talking about him. He's like, I'm going to show that guy. I can play on clay. Hey, Big Foe, if Foe wins that, respect. All right, chat. I'm getting out of here. We've got a big day tomorrow, but thanks for sticking around. What a win by Berrettini. 2-6, 6-3, 7-5. He comes back from a set down. He takes out Alexander Zverev in 3 sets, and he is knocking out the number one. He knocks out the number one seed, and he makes it into the third round. He'll play in a couple of days' time. He'll play against either Musetti or Lehechka. So it's going to be really interesting to see how Berrettini progresses after what a great win. Big day tomorrow, like I said, those matches that I mentioned. But Zverev, he's got some soul searching.